UnTrending truth about.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the UnTrending Truth, a show talking about, look, I always mess up. So, the UnTrending Truth is a show about not so
Okay.
popular and
You want to do it again?
unconventional topics being discussed. And today we have
Carolyn Parker. Hello.
Marilyn Parker. This is our 8th show.
Hey.
I know,
Yes.
number 8. So,
Yes.
we are pumped. That might not be anything to anybody, but it's a lot to us. We are very excited. I'll give a recap just for those that have never seen a show. I'm High Vibe Angie. This is literally my blood sister, Karen Lynn Parker. She's number 3. I'm number 8 of 8 in the family. Like we said, this is show number 8. And from the very beginning, you were probably 5 years old. We spoke about kindergarten,
Yes.
being bullied, and up to high school and pregnant at 18 and going to the service. And I think from age maybe 19 is when you had your
19.
first same-sex relationship, but it was in the closet. You had a lot of
Yes.
triangulation with
Yes.
husbands. I know. Husbands, others, and women or whatever, just a lot going on. And then let's see, 2 marriages, 4 kids. At some
Yes.
point, you came out of the closet,
Yes, I
and
did.
yeah, about when you were going hard for the cause. That's what we talked about the last show. She was
Yeah.
about it. And then 2 days short of your 14th year with being with your last partner, God spoke to you. And maybe you can just go from there a little bit.
Yes, to recap that, 2 days shy of us being together for 14 years, while I was actually getting ready for work, and I had been living with her pretty much just about a year. Um, the Lord just spoke to me, and I said, just like we're talking, you heard it so clear,
Hmm.
where He was just, if you're gonna keep doing what you're doing, you know, and you had to first of all think about what you're hearing. So
Hmm.
I said, pondering what I heard. If you're gonna keep doing what you're doing, you have to make a decision, and basically this decision is gonna be now, or you know, do what you're doing, keep doing it, or you're gonna have to suffer, I guess, the repercussions of what you're doing.
Hmm.
And at the time, it's like I really didn't want to find out what the repercussions could be. And by that time, my heart was feeling something, probably like, I guess you would say never before at that point, where it's just like, um, I really thought about that.
Hmm.
And I remember looking over at her and just telling her, I said, I can't do this anymore. And I really felt at that moment that my heart just changed and did
Hmm.
something different. And I know for a fact that at that moment I was delivered from living homosexuality that had been going on for 35 plus years in my
Hmm.
life. And to say somebody could be delivered instantly, you're looking at that person
Yeah.
right now. And I know for a fact the Lord changed my life. And
Yeah.
and that is the truth. And
Yeah.
I'm so thankful to this day that he gave me that opportunity again to come back to him.
Yeah. And it was just
Yeah.
really like a offer up, an opportunity for you, to make a decision. And um, really, it is that you made the decision because you didn't
Made
have
the
to.
decision. I
Yeah.
didn't have to. And that's true. I didn't have to, because at that time when you're fulfilling your flesh and you're thinking about the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, and you're having fun, you're going out, you're drinking, you're doing whatever you do, and I could have said, okay, Lord, thank you,
Yeah. What?
thanks, and just walked away. But at that moment, I honestly felt like I really don't know what will come out of this if I go the other way and
Yeah.
say, Lord, I'm gonna turn my back on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't want to see what I didn't want to feel that. So, and I'm so thankful to this day that I made the decision to say,
Yeah.
Lord, I'm coming back to you.
Wow. And it was also we spoke about just how everything from that moment on just kind of transpired, to where you already had the movers, you had a place to go. Everything was kind of instantaneous from that day on, that day forward.
Yes.
No excuses.
No excuses. And that's the thing about it when God is orchestrating things on your behalf and doing things behind the scenes, so to say, we don't even know what he's doing, but everything was just falling into place. So literally, like I said before, there was no reason, or I could really say I have no excuses to say I don't have this, I don't have that,
Yeah.
I don't have a mover, I don't have nowhere else to go. And literally, he made every open door there was that I could
Wow.
walk through.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
how it is. That's exactly how it is. So today, more than anything, we have Q&A for you, just more questions.
Yes.
I believe you had a couple of just your own questions or um,
I call
pretty
it
much
pondering
questions that were,
thoughts.
yeah, your pondering
Yeah.
thoughts. Also, I don't know if you want to give your disclaimer. Yeah,
Yes. um, like we said last time, I was wearing my shirt. Is like
yeah,
talking about the truth, and that is what we have started out doing. Just telling the truth. There's really no right or wrong way to do it or to
yeah,
say it. It's just my truth, and that's what we're doing. And that's why I'm so thankful for this opportunity to tell it like it is.
yeah. And thank you for telling it like it is. So we can start with your questions. And I think it's important, especially for something to come out of your thoughts or whatever, because you were actually in the lifestyle.
Yes.
So it makes sense, or it has more depth to it to me because you were in it.
Right.
So, what
Right.
are your questions? I believe you had a couple.
Yeah, I had a couple and I wrote them down because
Hmm.
like I said, I didn't want to miss anything about it.
Yeah.
But my very first question that I've always wondered about is, so why do people have to come out of the closet if they don't feel that they're doing anything wrong?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, and that's just it's almost like when I asked why were you acting like a male when you didn't, like it's really like kind of um maybe hard to answer on the spot. And not that you're looking for an answer from me. I'm just saying like that's a really good
Right.
question. It really is because
I'm trying to
yeah,
No, I was just trying to leave that question out there for anybody to ponder that in their minds that when they say they literally I finally came out the closet.
yeah,
And I look at that from my own life because if you're hiding in the closet about anything, that's basically you're in the darkness. So when you come out of something, then the light is shining on you.
mm-hmm,
So if you stay in somewhere, that means you're sort of comfortable being there because you know what you're doing is wrong.
mm-hmm,
So it took me a while, if you want to use that terminology. I came out of the closet. Well, I
mm-hmm,
was in my late 40s,
mm,
but being in the closet to me was a hidden place where I can be where nobody knew what I was actually doing.
yeah,
Only the people that knew me closest.
right,
So once I came out of the closet, it was almost like, okay, I'm really just exposed myself totally.
yeah,
And now to go back in, it's almost like, how do you go back in and you came out?
yeah.
Now everybody knows.
That's a
Everybody knows.
that is also once you make the decision to come out the closet, then that's a whole nother decision to pretty much pursue what comes with that life.
Oh yes, definitely.
You
You
know,
really gotta, because then at that time, your significant other that you're with, they don't see any reason why now you can't be out with the relationship?
Mm.
Why are you still hiding
Hiding.
it? Or why do you feel like you can't walk down the street holding hands? Or
Mm.
you feel like you got to be still, inward, and you just, so yeah, once you say I'm out of something, then you are totally exposed, and now you got to live what your exposure has brought forth,
Mm.
so it creates a whole nother ball game just
Yeah,
being out there.
I would think
So
so.
yeah,
I
definitely.
definitely would think so because it's so much easier when you're doing whatever in the closet. You know,
Oh yeah,
you're free.
you're free. You're
You-
free.
you're
And
free.
another term of, for me, I would say that was in the closet for me was when I was out of town.
Mm.
That's where all my freedom was. Nobody
Oh yeah,
knew me,
yeah,
so I could be in that closet in my own self,
yeah,
because I was in a different state. I can just
yeah,
open up and be loose, and
yeah.
then so that's
Hmm.
another type of closet,
Yeah,
type, where in a different place that nobody you think knows you. So you're gonna be
exactly.
exactly. So you're gonna be open to do whatever you want to do. So
That's why people move out of state to live their life.
yeah,
That's why
to
people
live
come
their
to
life.
Atlanta. That's why people Texas, a lot of places they move to be able to live openly out of the closet, but
Right.
yet go home or when they're around their people, nobody knows
They
or
go
they
back
don't think
in the
anybody
closet. What they don't think anybody know, but yeah, once you come out of the closet, trust me, you're out there. You people that I've ran into people that I was like, whoa, is this something you need to tell me? Type of thing, because they were out there too. And it's almost like, so yeah, so once one person sees you, there's like a domino effect. Of
know.
course,
Yeah,
did you know so and so was,
yeah.
and the talk begins. So therefore, you're not ever gonna go back totally in a closet once you come out.
I think
'Cause-
they like they say it's like the just a law of attraction. That people start to migrate, and you become
oh
a
yeah,
magnet to the same type of spirit, or what I'm
yeah,
saying,
yes,
really like minds. And so you
yes,
kind of congregate together and you get your community going. But even then, it's still all a secret sometimes. You know what I
it,
mean?
it
You have those people that maybe aren't convicted, weren't raised a certain way, or they just aren't convicted. And like you said, they want to hold hands and do whatever. And then
right.
you have a person like you where it's just like, hold on, like,
Oh,
let's go to the beach and we can hold hands.
right, and that's the conflict of like living, like not being comfortable or being convicted in that,
Mhm.
where you just never felt that freedom as if you were with your true partner that God designed to be. You walking with a man
Yeah,
that you're so in love with, and you're holding
right,
his hand, and you're loving, and
right.
and another thing, people get the misconception that that's all you want to do is be open, like everybody's physical in that lifestyle, which is
Sexual.
not true. Everybody's not physical being heterosexual
Yeah,
in that, like in that way, but it's just that misconception of
yeah,
it. But it just seems like it brings such a hidden type of way to
yeah,
be out in the open and
yeah,
physical. You just
yeah,
feel so, you know like it's wrong
yeah.
if you're being convicted, which also really brings me to my other question, because this is coming from how I felt
Mhm.
and perceive it. Because I felt like if you know anything about Christ,
Mhm.
God, Jesus, and you're walking in that lifestyle of homosexuality, I believe you're struggling somewhere in your life, in your heart, that something is wrong and you're doing something wrong.
Mhm.
And I can honestly say that because when you get that conviction of just growing up in the church, or your
Yeah,
mom, your dad, your grandmother, your
yeah.
auntie, or whoever, and like it says in the Bible, you train your child up in the way they should go. When they get older, they won't depart from it.
That's right.
So when you impart some type of Christ or God in somebody,
Yeah,
then you planted that seed
yeah,
in
yeah,
them, and it's so hard to know that those convictions are real.
yeah.
So I know a lot of people that when I was out there, that I knew that they grew up in the church, and I knew that they were struggling with their relationship, and I knew why. And I was going through that same struggle because
Yeah.
I grew up in the church.
Yeah.
So the people that I knew that had some form of Christ in their life,
Hmm.
their relationships was struggling, or they didn't even make it either, because it was that convictions that
Yeah.
one of those partners was dealing with the same type of thing I was.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to be with somebody when you talking about God and you trying to be gay,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, something's wrong here,
Yeah.
you know.
And that was one of the questions a little bit further down, just about religion and God and church, and like where does that fit in, and what was that like, even for you, outside of the conviction, like some people do go to church, or you have churches that are that way,
Yeah.
and you've even had people, talk to you or try to convince you that it's okay in the church or
Oh
whatever.
yes.
What is that like, or what's that about?
um I remember an incident. I won't say any names, but I remember an incident where I was going through that conviction in my heart and spirit, where I really want to. Okay, some people say pray the gay away or whatever,
Mm.
and I did go to a couple of those seminars. Might as well
Uh-huh.
say, but
Conventions,
before I
camps,
even went
seminars.
exactly, yeah, before
Mhm.
I even went to a seminar, I had went to a pastor,
Mm.
and I informed that pastor that I was struggling with this lifestyle.
Mm.
But the thing about it, what disturbed me, to be totally honest, they gave me information to go talk to somebody that was of that lifestyle. Like, I'm struggling with this lifestyle. Why would I want to talk to somebody that is okay with it? I'm not trying to be okay with it.
Like a pastor
So,
sent you to somebody else. I mean, I
yeah,
know
they
what you're
sent me to
talking about.
someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they sent me to someone that's struggling. No, I was struggling,
Mm-hmm.
but they sent me to this other person because that's the lifestyle that they clearly was living. So they
But in
figured,
church
well,
or through God or a
yes,
Christian.
yes. So why don't you go talk to them? And my thing is, I'm not trying to stay in this. I'm confused, but clearly they're not confused in their thinking.
They're
That's what
sure.
they want to do. So
Yeah.
that sort of disturbed me, and that sort of, sort of threw me
Yeah,
for
that's
a loop.
weird.
Yeah, because like I'm trying to
Yeah.
get out of this. I'm
Why
not
are you
trying to
pushing me further towards it? And
towards
then
it.
like,
Yeah.
are you okay with that? Because why would you send me to somebody that's like contradicting itself? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
hmm,
And so that, yeah, that really threw me for a loop. And when you say
hmm,
about the religious aspect of how
yeah,
did it, I really always had a hard time when I did. Honestly, I'm just be straight up and honest. When I did see people that was walking that lifestyle
hmm,
in the church, singing in choirs,
hmm,
playing, um, and people knew that, and
yeah,
it was like it's okay to do it because you're bringing us a good sounds and choirs, and you
yeah.
got the rhythm
Entertainment.
and entertainment, and people are coming in, and it's not the reason behind it. It's
Yeah,
like, hey, who cares what you are or what you do
yeah,
on your own time? But
yeah,
I always got disturbed by that. Even if I was walking in that lifestyle, I always stayed out of church after the fact that I
yeah,
knew that this is the lifestyle I lived.
yeah. You weren't done.
I wasn't done, and I honestly I didn't want to play with God.
Yeah,
I felt like I don't want to lead a choir or lead a Sunday school meeting, and truly I know in my heart that I'm doing totally the opposite of what God is telling me, or what I should be doing. That's
yeah,
right. So I purposely stayed out of church. And if I did go to church, like I did when I was in the military, it was hot. I needed to be cooled off.
yeah,
I needed some air
yeah.
conditioning.
Right.
Other than that, I'm not volunteering to lead a service or a
Yeah.
Sunday school class or whatever. But that's how strong my convictions were for me.
And so even with that aspect of it, like with the church bit and all that, what is it with the people that actually justify it or um, omit or even say like the Sodom and Gomorrah part wasn't about it was about the rape, not
Mm,
consensual sex or whatever, that's not a sin, as if like that whole part, that aspect of the Bible, like murder, anything else that isn't sin, like how does that kind of get wiped out? Or is it just because so many people live that lifestyle, or to justify it?
I think after a while, people find their own reasons to justify it. And I honestly believe because when you're living in sin and the sin feels good to your body
Yeah,
and it feels like, I mean, you find yourself like you can really fall in love, but I guess the lust of it,
yeah,
you throw out all whatever makes sense,
yeah,
the common sense of it, the biblical sense of it.
yeah,
And I think you're just living in what you feel that feels right to you
yeah.
and what makes your flesh feel good,
Mm,
you know?
yeah,
And that's how I could honestly say for myself, you throw out all the rest. Because if you truly know that what you're doing is wrong and you can get up every day and go do it over and over and over and over again,
yeah.
you really you're not thinking about the consequences. You're not thinking about what God's word is saying or
You're not done.
thus saith the Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not done. I guess
You're
it's
not
like
done.
living, shacking up, or being with somebody you're not married to, whatever, in a heterosexual relationship or
Yeah.
whatever. If you're not
It's
done, or whatever
sin is
sin
sinning,
is, yeah. If you're not
you know?
finished, I guess it's like,
And
well,
that's
I mean, you know what, and that's not even the case, and that's where my disclaimer is, which would be in the first three shows or whatever. But no, just because you like to do it and you choose to do it or whatever, that doesn't mean it's not a sin anymore. That doesn't mean it's not right. And so that's why I've never understood, even if you're in that lifestyle, or you might really love murdering people. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what happened to you or what that's about, but does that make it right? Does it make it not a sin anymore? And so that's what always is very interesting to me, is almost the omittance of it. Like it doesn't exist, or the deep twisting of it just to justify it,
mm,
because of a lot of people's lifestyle. And it's like, why don't you just
right.
live it and know it's I don't know. I guess the sin just makes it so bad because it is, but
And
label
it,
it.
it and it, yeah, the label of it. But then it if you believe in the word of God and
Yeah.
what the actual word of God says about it,
Yeah.
well, then it sort of sinks in the core of your heart and it sticks there if you really believe that.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. So that's why, like I said, I never could rest comfortably in it because
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. And it just, it makes sense, but then also look what happened to you and how it happened. You know what I mean? Like hearing the word of
Right.
the voice of God at that time, out of
Mm.
all the time. You know what I mean? But it's so clear, so vivid, and then for you to act on it. So yeah, I don't know if you can hear me because you look like you were cutting out, but I'm I don't say I'm
Oh,
flowing too,
okay.
but
Yeah,
you
you
it
were
looked like
too,
you
but I
were
got
cutting
I
out.
heard you.
Yeah. Um. Anyway, so you
Oh,
you
did one of
finished
those
your,
bloopers?
huh? No. Ain't no
So I'll
blooper.
try to be funny.
Yeah, it's like they about to see it. Ain't no bloopers.
Oh man.
So you got your two questions out the way.
Those are my questions, yes.
Okay, so here's
So
some
those
more
are
here.
questions where I just wanted somebody to you guys to
Yeah.
ponder.
Yeah, yeah, especially because I thought those were important, like I said, because you came from the lifestyle, you were in it. So if those were in your mind and your thoughts, then you're not alone. You know what I mean?
No,
There's a whole
exactly.
bunch of people that just they don't even know what to do with those thoughts. You know,
That's
a lot
true.
of people don't have people to talk to, or people on the other side that, yeah, we're in this lifestyle, but I am convicted. I do feel like I'm doing
Hmm.
wrong. It is a sin to me. You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
just in it. But a lot of people kind of go full fledged, or there's a whole group of people that aren't convicted, that Bible what or whatever, and you're in cahoots with those people. So there's a lot of people out there that definitely feel alone or don't know who to talk to. Period.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yes, I
Um,
understand.
okay, so let's see. Here's one. So what overall, what is your message to the people out there? Yeah.
My, like I said, my message clearly is that if living in this lifestyle, that if a person is actually really struggling with it and they feel like they have felt the convictions, they have felt that tugging on their heart that what they're doing is wrong, but they don't have they feel like they don't have an outlet for somebody to talk to or to go to because family, you don't feel like they're going to listen, you're going to feel like they're going to reject you, you feel like there actually is no way out. This is something that you really truly think you want to do in your heart because you've been doing it for a while and now you've gotten, I guess, accustomed to doing it.
Hmm.
My thing is, I believe what the word of God says, and truly, I feel God made a man and a woman. And I believe that not because of what my mom and dad just taught me, or I grew up just, reciting that. I believe that in my heart to the core. And if anybody's out there struggling with it, I just believe that, there's somebody out there that you can talk to, that you truly believe that they're going to tell you that is wrong. If they love you, they're going to tell you that is wrong.
Yeah.
They're not going to try to pacify your feelings and, give you that pat on the back, like, go ahead and do what you do.
Yeah.
But I believe that is wrong. And that's basically all I have to say about it. And, if you really struggling with it, follow your heart.
Yeah.
Find somebody who's going to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. And the truth is the truth. I mean, people, it doesn't even have to be about the lifestyle or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You could be a compulsive liar, whatever it is. The truth is the truth.
The truth is
And
the
if
truth.
people, yeah, don't tell you the truth, then they don't love you. You know?
No,
Yeah.
no. And you find people that's going to steer you to talk to somebody that's gay, and you would want to get out of being gay. That's a red flag right there. They're leading you the wrong way. If you
Yeah.
got a counselor that you go to and they're clearly telling you that, oh, it's okay to live that lifestyle, then and you're
Yeah.
struggling to get out of it, clearly you're at the wrong counselor.
That's right.
So yeah.
And know there's people out there like that too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So
Um, and so although you were saying that you were delivered instantly, right now, what would you say your biggest struggle is?
honestly, and I can say I can be totally frank and honest because I mentioned it before, but when you delivered from like homosexuality like I was, the instant um, drinking stopped,
Hmm.
everything that I can think about, going out, partying, whatever. But honestly, the hardest thing for me that is still a struggle in my life, and God is taking that away as we speak, because I believe
Hmm.
that He's going to do that, is masturbating.
Yeah. I thought you
That's
were going
hard.
to say masculinity.
Hey, tell the truth. It's like
That's
tell the truth, and God will show you a way out. I
no,
know.
I was looking for a different MAS.
It's like
Masculine.
marbles.
I was like, and you
Hey,
looking
you
mighty cute
said
today, but that
trending
wasn't.
truth.
Yeah, yeah, and when you do that type of stuff, you have to go somewhere in your mind. Usually, you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's one of those things why I honestly that's always ask God, why is that wrong? Because once again, something feels good to the flesh, we
yeah,
do it, and we wonder why. But at the same time, somebody I've heard them say it's you said going somewhere different in
yeah.
your
You have
mind,
to.
but
What are
then
you thinking about?
when you're thinking about other people, then you're formulating sinful thoughts because
Yeah,
you're thinking about somebody, you're
yeah,
thinking about why you're doing something to
yeah,
yourself. So what is that? That's
yeah,
creating another form of sin,
yeah.
you know.
Thoughts.
So that's Yeah, so
Yeah.
those thoughts. So people don't want to think about that. But yeah, as God deals with me in that area, it's like, you know what? That makes sense though.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
go somewhere and you're thinking,
Yeah.
you're what's the word? You're thinking about somebody else.
Yeah.
And it could be somebody that's married, somebody that's, or
Coveting.
whatever, coveting, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's something all wrapped together.
Yeah.
And it
All
all
in.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, but sorry, I didn't say nothing with another M that you thought
I,
about.
I thought you were
Money, my mama.
masculinity. No. Oh, that
No,
one.
like,
Yeah, no,
but
I mean, but all of it's real and all of it's
it's
true, and
real,
so many subjects that are real basic and
basic.
pretty common that people just don't talk about or have trouble saying, as if
People
it's
are
not a
afraid,
problem.
and it makes you accountable for stuff
Yeah,
in life. Somebody can hold you accountable if you're struggling with drinking or whatever,
yeah,
and you tell somebody and they see you out getting ready to have a drink,
yeah,
then they can hold that person accountable because
yeah.
it's like, why are you drinking?
Right. I thought you
Well,
said
the other is so hidden, like the closet stuff.
yeah,
Well, people don't know, but if you can say it out loud and put it out there, like, you
yeah,
know what?
yeah,
And I'm human
exactly.
in that way. You have
Yeah,
those struggles, but if you believe God can take anything away from you
yeah.
that is a
Not of
sin,
like him. Yeah,
not like him. If it's
yeah,
not like him,
yeah,
it's wrong.
yeah.
So
Pretty
so
cool.
yeah, that I feel freer just saying it out loud.
Let's hold her accountable, guys. Um, let's see.
That's funny.
Uh, mm,
Yeah.
I guess we kind of touched on. What'd you say? What'd you
Oh
say?
no, I didn't say anything.
Oh,
Oh, nothing. That's probably a frozen moment or something. I don't know.
it was exactly.
That's funny. I
Another
got
question is, and it's kind of, I feel like we touched on it a little bit, but how do you excuse everything in your mind? How do you justify? I feel like we kind of touched on that a little bit because, like you
it's sort of
said,
like what you said before.
yeah,
It's sort of like what you said before when you just go somewhere else in your
yeah,
mind. It's like you're doing something wrong, but
yeah,
the flesh is being satisfied, so you
yeah,
don't really care at the moment. And that's where that selfish thoughts come in at, where you just, hey, it's making me feel good about
mm,
what I'm doing. If you're out there
mm,
partying, drink, whatever you're doing out there, you
yeah,
you just you just close it off like it's
selfish.
nothing. Selfishness.
Mm.
Close it off. That's it.
And then how long did it take you to be comfortable to be out?
So can you say that one more
Like how
time?
long did it take you, like when you got out of the closet or whatever, how long did it take you to be comfortable being out? Well, I mean, I know you were
Honestly,
never comfortable, but you were more out
yeah,
than in.
honestly, right. Um, yeah, honestly, I can never say I was actually comfortable unless I was in a different state, different place,
Mm,
no other people, or went to the actual setting of gay bars
yeah,
where everybody's gay, or if they're not, why are they here? Or
yeah.
everybody, they must know why they're there. So
Mm.
there was really, that was one of my first places to actually start going, was to the gay bars, because
In
it
town.
was so relaxing in town. It didn't matter. You were in, because once you went into the doors,
Mm,
anybody else that was in there, you look around at them like, I know what the building said on the outside.
yeah,
Why are you here? So if
right.
they had any questions about anything, it'd be like, we must be here for the same thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the comfort level was always a comfort zone for me going there, because I felt everybody had some type of affiliation with it because they were in there. And
And
there's
and
there
dang. No, I was just thinking, I
I
was
never
going to
felt no
say, because
judge.
I've been to it was out of town, and I've been to one, but I definitely I mean, like a guy was trying to pop at me, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he was or whatever, but I was with somebody who was, but I
Mm,
definitely wasn't. You know what I'm saying? If anything,
right.
before I start having drinks, I was just being more judgmental, just looking at everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then, like I said, even in that setting, somebody was a guy. You know, he didn't appear. I don't
A
know.
guy.
Yeah, but nothing happened. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? And even he tried to come into the bathroom, so it was all type of, you know what I'm saying, stuff
Right.
going on. But
See.
even for me, I wasn't there for that. I was with someone. So, but I didn't even know what the purpose. Like, why would you bring me here? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? What was that about? You know, but
And
I don't
and
know.
probably and probably they was trying to see, sometimes people try to see where you are in life or what you might
Yeah,
end up doing.
yeah,
So they put you in a setting to see how you're going to respond.
yeah.
But yeah, everybody's not that way that goes into the places, but it
But I
seems
still, I
that
know what you're saying.
it's like a comfort level that you
Yeah,
can get in there because it's to me, I used to always feel like people didn't really judge you while you're in there
I
in
was.
a club, a gay club. I'm sorry.
No, I said I was.
What'd you
I mean, I
say?
was just, I was. I was just looking around
Oh,
or
well,
whatever.
yeah.
But I definitely
Well,
believe
see,
the person was trying to, or is still a person to this day that pushes it or tries to, normalize it or um, just pushes it. So I'm
right. So
sure.
therefore,
Hmm.
you must you might have been one of those candidates. They want to see
Yeah.
if you would have fell for it, then
Then
they would have that.
held
It's
it
just like
against me.
right,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's just like anything though.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Anything, people lure people places all the time, take
Yeah.
people places all the time just to see if they're gonna what partake of it.
Conform.
Yeah. So wow.
I know exactly. Let's see. Pretty
Hmm.
much the same question. What was your? I guess like I asked the question of what was the message to people out there, whatever. What do you think your message was in the lifestyle? Like, what were you trying to get out there, and what were you trying to push, or what was your message in the lifestyle?
You know,
Hmm.
honestly, I think my I think a lot of people that was truly, truly gay and walking in that lifestyle, and and a lot of them, knew of some of my convictions with Christ. Um, I honestly felt like even in the lifestyle, for some, I wasn't. I would say gay enough because there were just some things I didn't believe in. I was like, I don't believe in. I didn't believe in same sex marriage. Um,
Because you knew that.
and then the guys that dressed up like women and
Yeah,
act so overly
yeah,
like flaming is the
yeah,
term
yeah. Feminine.
that repulsed me to the point where it's like and
Yeah,
the dressing up and all that stuff.
yeah,
I probably was in a conflicting
yeah.
area
A
on both sides
judgmental,
because yeah,
a
some of them see
judgmental
me talking
hypocrite
about
homosexual.
exactly. So I used to ask the question, the what part of gay am I not? Because
Yeah,
some of it I didn't even agree with. So when
yeah,
you're convicted and conflicted, you can't really please neither side.
yeah. You're
Neither
you
side.
literally living a double life. Yeah. So a lot of times for me, and
Double life.
well, always 9 times out of 10, at least I'm sure I turned you on to. I just always kind of chalked that lifestyle up or whatever to molestation or just, you know what I'm saying, just
Right.
being exposed
Yes.
before your time to certain things. And so when I see the feminine acting or when people are just really out there, it just makes me more sad because like what happened? That's always the
Yeah.
first thing that, you know what I mean? Like what happened? And it's not always molestation. Sometimes it's a dominant
No.
parent. Sometimes it's your mom hating men so much you don't even want to be a man anymore. There's so many different factors, all
Oh
spiritual.
yeah.
It's
Oh
all
yeah.
spiritual.
Definitely.
Yeah, but
Definitely.
it when I see
Definitely.
that on that level, it makes me sad.
Yeah, it's yeah. What makes me even sadder though is to see how young kids are now that I never really paid a close attention to it when I was like in that lifestyle. you don't really, because you don't really, I don't think you dice sin up when you're walking in
Mm.
something. And after I got out of the lifestyle, I started seeing more and more like kids in that, like 5 and maybe 8,
Well,
and
now it's
just
encouraged. Most
yeah,
people
oh,
don't have
definitely.
convictions, their parents or whatever.
No,
And so now it's almost a lifestyle. You have adults that don't even know who they are. So that's really a sick adult allowing that, or even,
on
you
their
know what I'm
child.
saying? Yeah, helping to cultivate that in a child, because that parent, half the time, we as adults don't know who we are. You know what I mean? It takes a long
Hmm.
time to figure things out. So that will be on the heads of the parents or the adults in that child's life, because they're
Definitely.
just
Oh
struggling.
yeah,
Yeah, and now
definitely.
it's encouraged. It's almost like the new black, to
Mm.
where if you aren't founded, if you don't have if you just don't have a solid foundation in knowing the word or
You
anything, you'll fall for it. You know what I
you'll
mean?
fall for anything.
Yeah,
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 you will fall for anything,
yeah.
for real, for anything, which is so
Hmm.
sad. But yeah, that seeing more and more of that and hearing more of that and reading more of, the younger, generations. But yeah, of course, it falls on the parents because they're allowing them to do it.
Yeah, and I
So,
think we hear more and we see more because we hear and see what they want us to, and they try to normalize, and what they want us to believe is true and real. You know what I mean?
mhm,
So even to know that's the agenda that's being pushed, um, that's not always the news. That's what they want us to see, want us to believe, and want us just to, like I said, normalize and just be okay with. And that's the
right.
world today. You know what I mean?
And yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
I do know what you mean. I do.
What else? Oh, and well, for you, this question is: did you tell men? Like, did men instantly know, as far as you being a lifestyle, or like where did you stand with men, or did men try you, or like what was that you and men like?
Yeah, that's a really good question because after, like I said, after my relationship with her for over 14 years and actually getting delivered, one, I haven't, after that fact, I haven't even, been in any type of relationship to even talk to a
Right.
male. Um, I honestly, at this point in my life, I'm learning myself.
Yeah.
So I'm not even thinking on that area about that. And two, it's just I've already got it in my head and my mind is, if they come and the first thing they're text or is, or what's up or all that, I'm not even interested, first of all. But I'm, it's that just, the thought of it turns me off. So they don't even have to
I
worry. So
know.
they don't even have to come my way.
Well, I told you to make a list.
But honestly, right
Yeah.
now I am good
Yeah.
because I'm learning me.
Yeah.
And it's like dealing with something that you've gone through for so long.
Yeah.
You need to be healed
Yeah.
totally inside out. I'm just learning how to try to wear fingernail polish.
Your
You
nails are, your
know,
hands are so cute. They're so
yeah,
like adorable
I'm trying.
sausages.
Yeah, I might. I mean,
I don't even
it's just
paint my
things about my,
nails.
yeah, yeah. See, it's just little things about myself that I'm
Yeah.
learning, and it's like, you know, you know, eyeshadow. I mean, just
Yeah.
stuff where you don't have, and that don't make you a girl to do that stuff,
No.
but it's just that,
Because
yeah, exactly. But for
I don't do
myself,
all that.
I don't even like all that, but it's sort
Right.
of fun.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, honestly, I haven't even been. I don't even feel like I've been approached that way,
Yeah.
and it's going on what, 3 years?
Yeah.
It's going on 4 years actually, that I've been, done with that life, and it's
Yeah.
just like, but I'm learning me.
Yeah. For
So
the
not to
first
even
time.
have time. Oh yeah, and I'm really, and I really like it.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
like it.
It's fun.
If that answers your question.
Kind of. I mean, really, it was even when you were in the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
sometimes even acting like a male or whatever, some type of media could
Oh,
test you.
just 1 second. That's us.
Oh, it's over.
Okay, sorry, that was our bill.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah,
about
that was
45
45.
minutes. We
But
can pretty much.
can I finish that? Say that one more time.
Oh,
I want to hear
really?
that last question about
About
when I
men approaching you and testing you and trying you when you were in the lifestyle. You know, you have some men who'd be like, "Oh, she ain't that way," or "Let me." I
exactly.
mean, what was that?
Um, no, I mean it would be sort of weird because I was more of the dominant masculine
That's
one.
what I mean. Yeah,
So for a guy to come up and talk to me, I was like more like, hey, what's up? Hey,
yeah.
hey, how
Each
you doing?
other. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's almost like two guys trying
Okay.
to meet each other.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Well, I didn't
no,
know.
I
Sometimes men will try to test just to see. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
But on that end, it would be more like a test for you being with a feminine person, and they will try to, I guess you would say, hit on them more or
Mm,
less, and you find yourself trying to play that masculine role. What
hmm.
would any man do if somebody's trying to talk to their woman? That type of thing. So no, so yeah, it was like too masculine to try
Mm.
to think about another guy or that type of, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, sort of. That's a
Whew.
good question.
No. Yeah. 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 So I mean, so really, you
Interesting.
did on both levels during the lifestyle and after. You know, when it comes to men or whatever. I can't even see who. I mean, like who was there in Portland anyway. So please keep learning yourself. We need to get somebody flown in, make that list. Keep learning about eyeshadow because ain't nobody there. That's not true. It could
Like
be somebody.
eyeshadow.
Yeah, just keep learning yourself. Because I don't know who is there
Oh
for you
man,
in that
you
season
know
at this
what?
point in time in life.
I tell people it's like, if God don't make a mold and say, here you go, and show
Exactly.
me that
Not,
this
not, not.
person exactly. It's like, Lord, I'm gonna have to see him float down
Yeah,
and
seriously.
something. 'Cause-
Hello.
but
Yeah,
but like I said, at this point right now, it's a good feeling for I'm not even thinking about that.
yeah,
I'm not even thinking about it. But if the time comes and if it's God's will,
yeah.
definitely.
And that's
Oh,
what you
definitely.
want. Most of us are
Yeah.
in relationships or get with people, whatever, totally out of God's will, totally not even
Yeah.
asking, praying, nothing about it.
I'm like, yeah. And
Yeah,
I'm like, Lord, if it's in your will, trust
yeah.
me. But as right now,
Mm-mm.
I'm learning who you created me to be in the
Yeah.
first place.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Okay, well, a few more
Mm.
questions, but we can definitely wrap it up. And um, yeah, yay. Number 8, we did it.
Yay.
Yeah,
I
we did
know.
it.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean
Man.
it's great, and timing is everything. So it's always nice to be excited, show after show or whatever. Just because the momentum can go, or it could go. It just hasn't gone for us, which is beautiful. But
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it takes planning. It takes a lot. So the thing about it is, it's just meant to be. You know what I mean? And timing is everything, but I'm excited too. And so I'm
Yeah.
glad 8 is done. We'll take 9, next week or whenever. And
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And then
The
we'll just
can we the grand finale of it? I'd say
not
the grand
10, right?
finale, number 10.
No, yeah, 10 will
Number
be the grand
10.
finale, and then moving on to the next phase of everything. But yeah, so I'm just glad we're done, and we'll end with the word of prayer and wrap it up
Yes.
so they won't be so long. Anyway, Lord, we just thank you once again for opportunity for us to come together and just have a conversation about stuff that isn't popular, that isn't conventional, or that isn't something that people want to hear, but then it's also something that people need to hear, that somebody is looking for. And we just thank you for providing this place for people to come to, for Karen to share and to pour out her heart and to just minister to herself and to someone else. So once again, we just thank you. We thank you for us being alive. We thank you for the people that are watching and the people that are viewing. And we just thank you for blessing us and giving us this opportunity always. And in
Yes.
Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
exactly. Anyway, well,
Amen.
we will be back, God willing. Thank everybody who tunes in, watches, stays, whatever. Just thank you.
Yes.
But overall, like I said, thank you, Karen, for sharing your story, being so open with everything and giving people the opportunity to know they're not alone, which is very
Yes.
important.
Definitely.
Everybody should know they're never alone in anything. If you're thinking it, if you're going through it, somebody else is. However, it's a matter of being free and clear to share. And I'm just grateful. So,
Yes.
yeah. I'll say it looked like you had paused for a second. Anyway, well, yes, let's say our goodbyes and just thank you guys for staying
Number
with us.
9 is coming. Number 9
What's that?
in sign language. 6, 7, 8, 9. We're doing number 9.
Exactly. I thought
So
she was throwing gang signs. Anyway. Never know. Replacing stuff with
uh,
stuff. All right. Bye, y'all. And like I said, thank y'all for coming and take care. All right. Adios.
bye.
Bye.